loser, bro.
All right, we back. New episode has just landed. Got my people in the building. You know what I'm saying? Antidote Network. Let the people know who y'all are.
I'm Kendra, and I'm new to the Chatterbox.
Chatterboy?
Chatterboy.
Chatterboy? All right.
I said Chatterbox. Chatterboy.
I know you knew. Hey, Gina got your food too. Brother X, Brother Donovan.
All right, thank you.
All right, so who we got next?
My name Donovan X with the Nation of Islam, but the antidote always gonna be my home.
All right. I appreciate that, man. You know, because you know that nation strong.
You know we here, and we here to take over, support our black women, our black men, bring unity back to the city of Baton Rouge.
Hey, now you know I like the jokes a lot. So don't get offended.
Yeah, oh, you know I'm good.
Yeah,
you know I'm good.
Cause y'all also be whipping up them bean pies too.
You know I got 3 of them in the freezer right now.
Who we got next?
I'm Courtney _Dirty Red _225. I'm a Baton Rouge author.
Tell them what kind of books you be writing.
So I write real nasty like books.
Nasty books.
Nasty. So.
Hey, I'm telling. Hey, look, I might have to get with you. I got a book I want to write. It's called Tales of a Dixman.
I love that. I love that for you too.
All right, who we got next?
Yeah, we got Biggz, you heard me? The resident regular nigga, you heard me? I do a little bit of nothing and a little bit of everything. You know?
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
big God.
So look, we gonna kick this off, man. I know we talked about a lot of stuff the last episode, so I'm gonna remix this a little bit. But how y'all feel about the little Shannon Sharpe situation, man? Are y'all familiar with what's going on? Mm-hmm. So y'all tell me what y'all think about all that.
Pedophile.
God damn, brother. Tell me, Brother Donovan, tell me why he's a pedophile.
I mean, she 19 years old. He 54 years old. So I mean, at what point does the age gap play a part? You either groomed this woman or you were checking her out before she was of age. And I mean, they have plenty beautiful black women that's of age that you can partake in those same activities with.
Okay. So how y'all feel about that?
My thing is, I hear what he's saying. I think how it went was, though, they met at the gym. And she approached him at the gym while he was working out.
You know, we got a partner like that, right?
Like that. What that?
We got a partner that been some women at the gym.
I mean, hey, look, I don't speak on that. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? A pedophile to me is a little too far, because I know if I catch a murder charge, if I kill somebody at 19, I'm getting charged as an adult. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Sus got an OnlyFans page, which means that she was already in the business of selling sex of her own fruition. You know what I'm saying? Now, I personally, I don't like nothing under 28. I don't like nothing under 32. You get what I'm saying? They get on my nerves. So I don't see why he would, you know what I'm saying, like pick that to mess with, but I wouldn't call a brother a pedophile, you know what I'm saying? I just think he had a lapse of judgment on some unseasoned chicken, man.
So ladies, how y'all feel about that?
I believe in personal preference, me. So I mean, it don't matter what the age is, as long as you are an adult, you're an adult. So you know what you're stepping into, woman or man. So me personally, I have a baby daddy that's 13 years older than me. You know, he didn't groom me or he didn't train me or he didn't make me do nothing I didn't want to do. You know, so whatever you like is what you like.
You almost scared me. I thought you about to say you got a baby dad that was 13 younger than you.
No, I don't like younger men. And I guess it's your, like I said, personal preference. I don't want nobody younger than me. You could be the same age as me, but younger than me, I don't like that.
Why not?
Because, and I'm not going to say it's childish, because they have older men who are childish. I just personally prefer a man who's older than me. I want you to train me. You know what I'm saying? And then what I've learned from men who are older than me, they fuck me intellectually, and that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to play with me. Fuck my brain first. You know what I'm saying? And then everything else gonna follow. So I don't see nothing wrong with it, and that's my personal opinion. You know, everybody got their opinion, and that's just me.
All right, all right. So what you think? Talk to me.
19, that's a little bit too young. And then he's Shannon Sharpe. You know, he could have any grown woman, but 19, that's like a child age to me. So I think he could have did better than that. Like 19, that's too young.
Can I ask the question though? If it was a Shannon, 56 or something like that?
He
If
50.
it was a 45-year-old woman who played the same game, would it made it any better, or would it still be a dirty game to play?
No, he's hit that 19 though.
No, I feel like 19, we can't get past that. I understand it.
I believe
But-
if it was a 45-year-old woman, it would have been totally different. Because at 19, I got 22-year-old daughters. And at 22 years old, with me coming from the streets, we know the mentality. They have a lot of people. It goes back to the male and the man. You can, just because you have a male body part, that don't mean you're a man. And it's just like females. Some females believe that they're a grown woman when they still have a child mindset. So if you're dealing with somebody at 19, how much life have you experienced to show you what you are? Because life is the best lesson that you can learn. That's the best teacher of yourself. Life, living life. You only been on this earth for 19 years, so what have you really been through? Your parents probably have sheltered you, so you really don't know. So you are still a child because you are still under somebody's tutelage. Somebody is still teaching you how to become what you are. So that's why I believe it's pedophilia, because she's 19 years old. And my daughters are 22 years old. I still teach them things that they don't know. So, I mean, the age, you can be 19 years old and still have a childish mindset. You can find a 25-year-old and she's still childish. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at 19 years old and you 55 years old, just like the sister right here said, I mean, you could find you somebody, you Shannon Sharpe, you can find any woman to do what you want to do with her.
So I got a theory behind all this. You know, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like to a certain degree, because he's Shannon Sharpe and a lot of women admire Shannon Sharpe, they kind of upsetting Shannon Sharpe. But if this had been like Bruce, would they have been like upset that he had a 19-year-old?
I mean, I don't even know if it's that, because they was trying to call Uncle Shay
Punk?
yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I think the 19 is really what's polarized, where when he met her, she was 19. That's what's really polarizing.
Right.
The thing I'm trying to get into is a stab at your money is a stab at your money regardless of what age. A setup is a setup regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I say, and we never really stop learning. Like you say, yes, at 19 you still learning, but I know people I meet that's, man, bro, I ain't never thought about it like that. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And he's well up in age and years and stuff like that. My thing is, he down bad for the choice of woman, yes. You know what I'm saying? But on the other end, she also down bad for playing the game how she played.
Yeah, cause
And so for people to say like, oh, well, what else you think? She 19. What else she gonna do? Like, nigga, that happens in marriage with people sometimes. That happens in business. That happens, you know what I'm saying, with somebody, you know, build a plan to scoot you out from under your, you know what I'm saying?
so let me
your
land
paycheck.
on this. Who was the predator and who was the prey in this situation?
Both are predators.
I would say he was the predator and she was the prey.
Could it be she the prey because she knew he had money and she could get him out that money?
I mean, you could look at it like that, but I mean, and truthfully, if you do scientific facts on the human brain, at 19 years old, the brain is still not fully developed. So she's gonna play childish games. As an adult male, you have to take control of the situation, and you got to make better decisions in what you're doing. You 54 years old. I mean, your brain is developed.
Hey, I got one for you, brother.
What you
that
got?
nigga might have CTE. He might have got sent back to the third grade for all we know.
He might, but when you hear the conversation from the telephone conversation, that
You
wasn't
sound kind of retarded.
Yeah, it wasn't a CTE conversation when you telling her, "I'ma beat your A" or "I'ma choke the S out of you."
But
you
look,
know what I'm saying?
But look, you don't think he might have been like role playing or something? You know how some women like to get like,
that's
look,
what
you
I'm
write them
saying.
books, right? Do you like when men tell them they gonna choke you?
No, I mean, because you got to separate my real life from me writing a book. Like,
So you don't like being choked?
She too red. It's evidence and shit. She can't go to work with a nigga fingerprints on
but
her.
I mean,
Man.
I feel like she was the prey. I feel like a lot of people are looking at 19. I have conversations with women all the time. I work in the medical field, so
Right.
a lot of people are more intelligent than what people think. You know what I'm saying? So just because she's 19 don't mean she don't know what she's doing. They have 19-year-olds who can hold a conversation with you better than a 45-year-old woman.
But can they make good decisions?
They can. People know right from wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Do that-
something that's
but-
instilled in you.
But you ever thought about this? My right might not be your right, and my wrong might not be your wrong.
And you're right.
This why I say both of them predators. He preyed on her youth. She preyed on his paper.
money.
That mean it's just what it is. Just the same thing with Brittany Winter. She preyed on their potential to be earners, like with the PJ Washington and all that other stuff like that. And he preyed on, I got me a bad one. You know what I'm saying? Or I got me something I could tell my boys. You get what I'm saying? Like I think we all go after what we want. It's just all about, do we really put the proper context? Sometimes we predatory towards certain stuff.
But would that go back to being a childish mentality?
Now that's something totally different.
Because a child is gonna prey on money because the world that we're living in, everybody believes that you have to have money. So that to do something, to be recognized, to be validated. So that goes back to the childish mentality, because they got a lot of people that can get into character and hold a high level conversation, but that doesn't mean that is the character on the inside of their body. That don't mean what that they brain process it at that level. They can hold a conversation. We know a lot of fake people that claim to be street cats, and they'll sit there and sell you a dream that they was this big killer, this notorious drug dealer, when they was a peasant in the streets.
Right. Because all the real killers and dealers either locked up and dead, so ain't nobody to testify he wasn't outside.
I mean, it really goes back to the childish mentality. So if you have a childish mentality, I can't hold you accountable for your actions because you don't know better. Nobody's taught you better, because if somebody had taught her better, her actions wouldn't have did what she did.
I hear where you come from. I ain't gonna lie, but as a grown man, my daddy wasn't there like how I wanted him to be there, and I know I can't make the excuse of because my daddy wasn't there, this is why I do X, Y, and Z. I gotta be accountable for what it is that I'm doing. Like I say, Shay is wrong for stooping that low to the level of a 19-year-old. Yes, you get what I'm saying. But I'm not gonna, like I say, we all have been in. What school you went to, man? High school.
I went to Bel Air,
Who y'all beefing with?
Glen Oaks.
Glen Oaks. Tell me, man, at 16, 17.
Let's not talk about this, because I'm gonna get flashbacks.
Okay, but
and I got some Glen Oaks niggas in here.
Tell me when y'all went to the football game, you ain't have in your mind already, even though you childish, yes, but you making a decision of, man, if one of them niggas look over here, throw a 3 up, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, my thing is, I don't want to have her completely off the because younger women could also learn from this, like, hey, bro, this ain't the game you really want to play. Because this could turn out bad for her, too. It could turn out bad for Shay, most definitely. But it also could turn out bad for her and the whole thing of having to use your body to get paper, you get what I'm saying? It ain't necessarily, well, no, it's going to be cool because you young, so, be a hoe. because you don't know nothing yet. Go ahead and slut your body because you don't know nothing yet. I don't want to put that kind of message out there, dog.
Right.
The accountability got to go all the way around, my
Yeah,
dog.
accountability. It has to be on both sides. I ain't saying that she's innocent for what she did, but as a grown man, he shouldn't have did that. So that at the end of the day, you as the grown up in the situation is just like you and your child. If your child makes a bad decision and you're the parent, your job is to correct your child's bad decision, right?
True, that is.
So if he's 54 years old, then he's old enough to be her daddy. In some situations,
he's old enough to be the grandfather.
That's what I was getting at. He's almost old enough to be her grandfather. So why not use it as a teaching moment instead of using it as a sexual moment?
Okay. So, look, I'm
sorry.
I'm going to go ahead and drop the mic on down.
It sounds like she was teaching him something, you heard me? They raise babies, she want big babies and baby gravy. I had never heard of baby gravy, nigga. Just taught me something, you heard me? God damn.
So, look, I'm going to change the subject. How y'all feel about women that treat their sons like they man?
Oh, no, I don't like that.
Talk to the mic now. Talk to the mic.
I don't like that because they're not your man.
So do y'all see that? Have y'all witnessed
that? Oh,
See
yeah.
it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what y'all like? What is the issue as to why you don't like that? What bothers you about that?
It's disgusting to me. You know what I'm saying? Your son is your son. Your man is your man. It's two different things that could be done. Like, I mean, to go back on what he's saying, you teaching your child something. With your man, like, we about to get nasty. You know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like you should put your son on a pedestal to where, oh yeah, I'm gonna treat you like you my man. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty to me.
So I got a theory.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of women dress they kids like the nigga they like. However they dress their kids, that's their type.
I see that a lot of times, and I can agree with that on about 80% of the time.
Right. A lot of times, if they put their kids in chains and streetwear, that's the kind of dudes they like.
I disagree. I mean, you know, this is my opinion, because the type of man I like is totally different from how I dress my son. I have a son, he gonna be 7, you know, and I dress him how I want him to be treated. You know, by him being, he light skinned, but he's still African American at the end of the day.
Right.
So nobody looking at like, oh, he light skinned, so we're gonna treat him different. You know, he's still a black man.
So how do you dress your child? How do you like your men?
I like street dudes, to be honest with you. I like big bodies, to be honest with you. You know, but I'm growing. You know, I don't want no.
Oh my God!
You know, I like.
What's a street
Can
dude?
I was just about to ask, what's a street dude?
So I'm okay. Like, I want somebody who's intelligent with a street mentality. I'm gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to be green.
Hey, you know a lot of y'all women y'all like that unicorn nigga, a nigga that sell dope, pray, shoot niggas, fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga just do everything. Like, he a super nigga.
I want somebody reformed. I want somebody who can tell me, okay, this what I've been, but this what I'm going toward. You know, I done been there, done that. I don't see this for myself no more.
So you like somebody that kill something, but he ain't killing no more.
No, you don't gotta kill that, you know.
But how many times do I and I respectfully agree to everything that you said, sister, like respectfully. But how many times do we run across these dudes that say they street dudes or were street dudes and all they doing is selling a woman a dream? Because half these cats, I mean, the real gangsters dead, in jail, or they on to doing something positive now because they've learned as they matured that the actions that they were taking when they were younger wasn't the right action.
I mean, I think too, bro. It'd be a conflation between street dudes and hood dudes. You got niggas who grew up in the hood and ain't just street dudes.
Exactly.
And then, you know what I'm saying? So it's a difference in that. And then the nigga could be solid. Just because a nigga a street dude or a hood dude don't mean he's solid.
So look, I got a question, and I ain't mean to cut y'all, but I gotta ask it. So what's the qualifications for you for having been a street dude? Like do you ask a nigga like you know how to break a brick now? Like what's the qualification?
I think it's levels to that, but it's ultimately your life is revolved around street and street activities.
Cause they got crash outs that's in the streets.
Yeah, but okay, you got
so
niggas.
like what's the tier street nigga that you like?
Like cause I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I want
They got
somebody.
niggas who steal, they got niggas who rob, they
I
got
don't want
niggas
all
who kill.
that. So I'm gonna use my ex for example. You know, he grew up in the streets when we got together. You know what I'm saying? Like he grew up in Monticello. So Montecito. I'm sorry, not Monticello. Montecito.
Hey, that shit.
But yeah, you know. So I mean,
Hey, look, brother Donovan was about to flip the table just now.
Montecito. But no, like and in 2015 we met him. I saw growth in him from when I met him in 2015 he was fresh out of jail. From 2019 we got married. From building credit, buying houses, like you got a story behind you.
You know what you like? You don't like a street dude. You like a project. You like to work on something.
You think I like a project? I don't know.
You like to work on something. You like projects. You know what I'm saying?
It might be.
You like people that like to decorate houses and stuff. You like a project.
But
like this what it was like at first, and this where it's at now.
But I guarantee you, like if you look at his Facebook from 2014 to to the time we got divorced, it was a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like you could see a difference from him having drugs and having guns to we taking pictures with keys. I done bought my
stop
first
having
house.
guns. You gotta keep protecting yourself, baby.
I never had a gun. I'm
don't
talking
say
about
for him.
We in the South, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think every nigga, regardless of
But
what kind of nigga is, should have some protection. You know
There's
what
a
I'm saying?
difference between taking pictures with guns and being discreet with having a gun.
I
You
don't
know what
believe
I'm
in
saying?
I don't have guns no more.
All right.
I ain't gonna do it like that.
Right. But nigga say right. You got it. I believe.
I mean, but
I'ma take your word for it.
I understand what she's saying though, honestly, because you can see the transformation in some cases. Like you can visually see the transformation,
let me
and
tell you
like
something.
brother say, it's a difference between the street dudes and hood dudes.
Right.
Cause you got some dudes that grew up in the hood and they affiliated with some people and they classify themselves as a street dude. But you just grew up in the hood.
Right.
Being honest, half these cats around here never seen a brick. Like never seen a brick. They never broke a brick down.
But see, that's why I say what's the tier street dude, because he might have been a drug dealer, but he might have been a killer. He might have been a carjacker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's different tiers.
Yeah.
But a thief shouldn't be classified as a street dude. He should be classified as a peasant.
He should be classified as a street dude because he's taking them cars off the streets.
I mean,
So look, you been quiet. What's up?
I like a hustler.
You like a hustler?
A hustler.
Yeah,
What kind of hustler though? It's tiers of hustlers.
If you can make money by any means possible, I like a hustler.
Okay, so
Because I'm a hustler
I
and
like
I'm gonna make
that.
money by any means
so you
possible.
said that you gonna stand on that, right?
Yeah.
So look, my dog gonna pull up in a minute. He in the game right now. You cool with that?
I don't care as long as he a hustler, as long as he know how to take care of his family and provide.
I hear you. I mean, Biggz, go ahead and say something. You can speak on it.
I ain't saying a damn thing. We got it because the enemy, like I said,
I
the
don't like
enemies
the enemies.
say a lot, dog.
Yeah.
A lot
Hey,
of
so
shit
look,
will fall
check
under
it, check it out. You said a hustler, right?
A hustler.
Whatever he do to get money.
Except selling himself.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
You
He ain't gotta sell himself for no money.
Look,
But you know, like making money.
if he had OnlyFans and he was with some punks, you gonna be okay with that?
No.
You say you want to hustle by any means?
Well, no, not enemies. Well, I'm gonna say not enemies, but you know the normal.
You said normal?
Not selling yourself though. Not selling yourself. No.
The norm.
What about a professional colorer? Don't they got
Yeah.
$300 an hour to color a motherfucker?
So look, what if he was an actor, but he played a punk? You okay with that?
No, I'm not. No.
See what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? So you got limitations.
limits.
But
It ain't all
it's
hustlers.
limits.
But
Yeah,
that-
it's limits. But you know what I mean though. Like he just
Nah,
he
I
just need to know.
I've met you 2 times. I don't know what you mean.
He need to know how to hustle.
Okay.
I understand what she's saying.
Yeah, I just want to be specific though. You can't talk general and then.
But
you know,
not
nigga-
selling yourself, because I'm not selling myself, nothing like that. Just
Yeah.
know how to make money.
Yeah.
It could be honest, it could be not honest, but just not selling yourself.
Right. But let me ask you this: if it's not honest and you hurting your community, you can sleep good with that.
Then I said not. Well, no, I don't want to hurt the community.
So people sell a fed wife, you like, you know, shit, he a hustler, fuck it.
Man, get them numbers right. Now.
But he gotta know how to make a living. He gotta know how to do something to bring some money in. Let me give you an example.
What if
okay?
that nigga was a breakdancer? You cool with that?
Yeah, he break dancing. He dancing. What is that? He ain't nothing but spinning on the ground. That's all.
He go down to the river with a hat.
I just got to make an announcement that this is water in my cup before I
yeah,
sip
it ain't no
it.
Sharpe.
Yeah, before I get in trouble, this is
It's
water,
real water.
H2O.
Hey, look, I seen him at the bar getting that water. You know what I'm saying? They put the spray gun in there. That was water. So look, y'all talk to me. Based off of some of the things y'all have seen lately, where y'all feel like society going? We on the upper swing or a downward swing?
I
Down.
feel like society is just going down.
Down.
It's horrible. You know.
Why it's horrible?
Because, and like I say, I talk to a lot of people on a day-to-day basis. And, you know, as far as political things are concerned, I feel like a lot of people were expecting different than what they got. And now that they got different, you know, it's like, oh, well, you know, I'm not sure why this is like this. And you voted for it. You know what I'm saying? People have to listen. And I feel like with everything that's going on, it was presented. This is what it's going to be. And now that he's showing that I'm giving y'all what I presented to y'all, a lot of people weren't expecting it for real.
Right.
So, I mean, you know, I feel like people got what they asked for, whoever voted for whoever, you know. But I feel like it's going downward. And the good thing about African Americans, like, you know, we know how to struggle. We know how to maintain. We know how to get by. You know, if I got to go move with my mama today or tomorrow, make room for me and my 5 children because we about to come through. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people have a lot of ego problems, though, and a lot of people not with that. So, I mean, you just got to be able to make do with what you can make do with, but I don't feel like society right now is going to get any better, you know, so people just have to get their mind right and do what they got to do, save, make sure you save them stamps accordingly, you know.
I actually think society is on the way up because we need the people that's in office right now as a black community to tear it down so we can learn to be self-dependent, because we're going to continue to depend on the government if they keep giving us all these subsidies. We gonna continue to depend on them. We will never learn how to maintain for ourselves to uplift each other. Like I know Ted, I've been knowing bro since we was kids. I know today is my first day meeting these sisters. But when I look at y'all as real sisters, as having love for y'all, as queens, as gods, because y'all birth nations, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think it's just the way that we look at things. The crime and everything is gonna be crime. That's gonna happen. We can change that, but we gotta unite first and start looking at each other as brothers and sisters instead of looking at each other as ops. Because just like he asked about the Glen Oaks thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, where you from?
I ain't gonna lie, I mugged the fuck out of Glen Oaks nigga just now.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, most of the time, these dudes that's beefing about these hoods, what do they own in the hood to where they beef, what they beefing for? You don't even own a property in the hood. Your mama renting a house out in the hood, but you beefing about this neighborhood and you willing to kill your brother about this neighborhood. So, I mean, like, what are we really doing?
I feel like what you just said, I loved it. That was so beautiful, but I feel like it's easier said than done because a lot of us, you know, as African Americans, if a person try to help you, some people, you know, are grateful for help. Some people look at it as, oh, she treating me or he treating me like I'm charity. Like, and if you have people who treating you like, who feel like they're being treated as charity, right. I don't want to help you. Like, because that's not why I'm helping you. I can go easily give to the Salvation Army or to St. Vincent de Paul. But if I'm trying to genuinely help you because I know we come from the same struggle or you struggling, I don't want to see you struggle, a lot of people don't like that.
I'll say this. There was something I wanted to interject. We was talking about, Brother Donovan was talking about like basically getting government assistance and things of that nature, holding us back. I ain't gonna lie. I think if they was to cut food stamps, the suicide rate would go up.
I mean, it's a possibility that it would, and then it's a possibility. First of all, black people, we got to learn who we are. And that's the first step. Because 60% of Americans, of black Americans, don't know who they are. They don't know where they come from. They don't know their heritage. They don't know their self. So once you get to learn yourself and you actually know who you are, like the sister said, a lot of people feel like charity cases. Once you know yourself, you know it's not charity because the word brother is the Latin word for other. So that is your other half as a black person. So once we learn that, then we start to treat people differently. Joe, you know me. You know what I'm saying? You know where I come from. You know how I got down at one time until I learned to who I actually was, till I started to study and find out who we are as black people. So now I don't look at another black man as a op. I don't look at a black woman as H word or B word or none of this because I know where we come from. I know we kings, queens, and gods. So why would I treat, you know what I'm saying, my other half as if they're less than me? I'm going to treat them equal to me or even better, you know what I'm saying, than I treat myself.
So look, I'm going to go ahead and switch this topic because I want to get into this. But I'm going to ask the ladies first. Are y'all familiar with the athlete Shedeur Sanders?
With who?
Shedeur Sanders.
Oh, yeah,
the son of
Deion
Sanders.
He was drafted to the Cleveland Browns today.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, you know, he was projected to be a first-round draft pick.
Yep,
and he fell all the way to the fifth round. Do you feel like that was racially motivated?
I do.
As to why he fell to the fifth round?
I think it's because Deion is his daddy. I think they were trying to prove a point to him.
But look, I'm going to play devil's advocate. The first pick of the draft, though, was a black quarterback. So,
and he was better than Shedeur. Let's be clear.
Right.
Yeah.
So, is really most racially motivated as we want to say it was?
Not as racially motivated, but they had to play a part in it, and because Deion was his daddy. That's the things I do believe. Number one, because Deion was his daddy. And a lot of people don't like Deion.
I agree with that. I agree.
So
and they wanted to prove a point to him, like, no, your son, you think your son going to be number one? No, he's not going to be number one. We going to show you, we going to draft him number 5.
Now, if you do add a racial component to it, it got to be the historical point of it, of a black man with certain stature, with a certain swagger, with a certain vibe about himself, like, you white boys need me type feel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you ask me, everybody who got drafted in the first round, all them niggas had big chains on too. All them niggas were blinkety, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And looking, you know what I'm saying? Like they proud of themselves and believe in themselves as well. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't say that, but it is a family.
You know what though?
I believe it's a family.
I got a theory. I think because Deion raised his son to play like a white quarterback, it backfired on him. because he didn't provide. He doesn't have the same kind of athleticism as his other black peers. He played more of a pocket passing, traditional game. He went to go train with Tom Brady, and in a way that might have backfired because he doesn't have the same kind of black flair as a lot of the other black quarterbacks.
Athleticism is God given, though, my boy. So he worked with the boy with what he had. I think it was more about Deion said something about in certain places he not going because I know what kind of mess they be having going on.
Right.
So that already say Deion gonna be hands on with the inner workings of how the team deal with his child.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So same way like how what's my boy in basketball? He won with all three of them in one way or another. LeVar Ball.
Right.
The reason why they try to find a reason. Well, D'Angelo did that stupid stuff, but I'm saying they didn't really want to deal with the rest of them after Lonzo. You see what I'm saying? Because they knew he came with it, and he might be the big mouth, and he might the distractions and all that other stuff like that. I think they play more of a, you know what I'm saying, hand in it.
I believe what that sister said was spot on with Deion Sanders. It was all about Deion Sanders. It wasn't about his son. I mean, Deion Sanders is a big enough superstar and athlete still to this day that his platform, he can go to any platform and they knew he would speak out. If his son didn't play, didn't come out starting, Deion would have something to say. So when you got 31 NFL teams that's all owned by white men, they not about to take that from a black man. We not about to let you come in and say what you want to say and downgrade our organization about your son.
So,
you know what I'm saying?
So the next are they wrong for that?
I mean, if the shoe was on the other foot, I think black people would do the same thing.
I think they should.
I think they should too. Because again, black people need to stick together more than we stick together. We separate so much.
It's like they're trying to humble them.
I find that black people always get excited to be in white rooms.
They do. They want to be validated.
Y'all agree with that?
Black folk don't make their own rooms though, for the most part. So
I don't agree with that though.
Man, look.
Like like I said, this is my opinion. I'm a person who believe in like it's not always about who you know. It's about what you know. And a lot of people can walk in rooms and shut it down because of what they know, not because of who they know. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me. So, my opinion.
Personally, I feel like a lot of black folk look at what white folk done had over the years and try to mimic that because that is the only way they see success or see having things or whatever like that. And I don't think black people never took a time as a group to just say, you know what, we honor this. You know what I'm saying? This is valuable to us. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's always been out in the fields looking at the big house. And you know what I'm saying? Oh, they dress like this, they drive this, they could do this, they could do that, and we can't. And all that other stuff rather than saying, this what we, because I ain't gonna lie, I don't believe in what you got make you who you is. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I think the people give things value, not the things give us value. See what
I agree and disagree with that because in certain industries, like the music industry, if you don't look like money, they don't treat you like money.
But do that mean you not money though?
Huh?
If you had $1 million, see, cause that's why I be fucked up in. I ain't never seen Bill Gates or Warren Buffett in Balenciaga.
Yeah, but
you know what I'm saying?
But our culture different than their culture.
But it all goes back to the validation point that he make. And like you say, what makes our neighborhoods different than the country club besides us caring enough about our neighborhoods to build our neighborhoods up to make them look like that. Soon as the black man get money, the first thing they want to do is I want to move and go out there where the white folks at. Why not build your house, your dream house in a neighborhood that you grew up in? Why you don't pick up the trash when you see trash on side of the road in your neighborhood, but you not gonna throw a cup out the window in the country club?
Right. Hey, I feel like that's majority black people, but you know this too. I'm right there in Mall City. I ain't go on the white side of town. I stayed.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Black folk kind of in the catch-22 with a lot of stuff because it's a lot of dudes who do that for the neighborhood, and niggas still let the neighborhood do the nigga in. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like if I lay around there and brought the resources back to my neighborhood, I'm buying houses and making where they rentable. You know, nice, fix them up, make them at a low income where you could rent so you could get back on you could get on your feet and all this, that, and the third, and all that. And I'm throwing shindigs for the kids and community garden and, you know what I'm saying, all the after school programs and stuff like that. And then it's somebody over here that y'all know don't like me. Like okay, what's your boy in California, the marathon?
Nipsey Hussle.
Well, shouldn't nobody out the hood have been able to do that to him? Not for everything he did for the, you see what I'm saying, for the area. Or what they said about Dolph, you see what I'm saying? If he did all this, man, I remember he threw me $5,000 to help me with my business, and he was a real when he did this and did that. Man, shouldn't nobody been able to do that? And then my thing is, so then you got guys like I gotta bring it back to Shannon. You get that type of money. If he would lay it around there and start standing up for black folk a certain type of way, and then they strip him, who gonna help lift him up after he did that? Or is he just gonna be a memory of, man, look, you seen how they did that nigga Shannon? You see what I'm saying? And so like, it's like we know right, but we ain't making the steps to do right, so then doing right don't even have a, you get what I'm saying, a real purpose to do, you know what I'm saying? It's not no incentive to do right. But you can't lay around and still suck dick for white folk all the time either. You get what I'm saying? It's just, I don't know, bro. Niggas in a bad spot, bro.
That's why
I feel like there's levels to that. I feel like there's levels to that though, because I grew up in Glen Oaks. You know what I'm saying? And
one of them.
don't do that to me.
Damn,
No, but I grew up in Glen Oaks for real. Look, I went to Merridale Elementary, Glen Oaks Middle. Then, my mama was like, I want to move you out of Zachary. So I'm like, okay, cool. Go to Zachary, get an education. Boom. You know what I'm saying? I could walk in a room now and get a job before a person who went to a Stromer or who went to, Baker High School. Nothing against you, but I'm just saying, like, they gonna look at it automatically like, okay, she got a good education. What year you graduated? 2009. Okay, yeah, I'ma hire you because I know that during that time period, they was giving out good educations. So going back to what you asked, like, black people going to white neighborhoods, I was one of them ones because I was like, okay, I grew up in Glen Oaks. I know what it was like. My mama sheltered me. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't go outside because of everything that was going on outside. So I had to stay inside.
I gotta land on this.
Okay, let's land.
Your mama sheltered you.
Right.
Did that play a role in why you be writing them freaky books?
It does. It really do. Look, my mind used to wonder all the time. And I was telling him, like, I started reading certain stuff at a young age.
You reading Zane?
I was reading, my first real book was Video Vixen. Fell in love with it. And I'm like, why, a normal person reading Old Yeller and stuff like that, I'm reading Video Vixen. So, and it had a lot to do with me being out inside, not being outside and doing what my friends was doing. So, I wanted but by me getting a good education, I wanted the same thing for my children. So I don't feel like I'm demeaning black people by trying to move to a better neighborhood to do what I have to do for my kids. You know what I'm saying? So, it's levels to that too.
I don't think nobody's saying you're demeaning black people or nothing like that. We just saying that that has become the way to, rather than us being able to give to ourselves.
Yeah.
And we feel like the better way to make it is to go do what they do or whatever like that. But like I say, I think we should have a level of what we find valuable within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, I know cats that was in the streets that made thousands of dollars. Let the police catch them niggas. They ain't have no honor.
All right. I'm a high school dropout, and I make, with my living, illegal living, as a high school dropout, I make, Obama said my trade makes more than a brain surgeon. And that's a fact, as a high school dropout. And I grew up in the hood my whole life. I don't believe you have to be validated by anyone but yourself or your higher power. Whatever you choose to believe in, you got to believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like that's at the end of the day, is no difference between Zachary and Shenandoah. Just the panel we had last weekend at the building.
Right.
If you go on LSU campus, you'll find just many more illegal guns than you'll find in a park. But they go put it on the news to you that we found 100 illegal guns in the park, and they ain't gonna tell you nothing about what happened at LSU.
Right.
But it all goes back to that validation and knowing yourself. Because you can take a neighborhood on this side of town, 70802, 70805, 70807, and you can build that neighborhood up and make it to whatever you want. You can have a country club in a park. But we've been so brainwashed to the point now that if we don't have this type of vehicle, nobody's gonna respect us. If I pull up in this type of vehicle, they gonna laugh at me. So what that they laugh at you? I was driving a 1996 4Runner and I was pulling up everywhere with $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 in my pocket.
Right. I remember
with over $100,000 in the bank and savings for my kids' college already. So I mean, it really don't matter. You gotta know who you are. That's the key to it all. If you don't know who you are, you can easily be persuaded to believe anything.
So look, not to cut you off, but we low on time. So before we go, I gotta let the people know where they can follow you at and what they can do, to get in touch with you.
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram, Kendra_1025, or Facebook, Kendra Williams.
And any kind of service, anything that you want the people to holler at you about?
No, I don't do that.
You just work.
I have a regular job. I'm a nurse.
All right. Well, I ain't gonna even put that out there. We'll go to the
Saying lies. That's all we need to know.
I'm Donovan X. You can follow me on Instagram at Donovan X BR, Malcolm X Reincarnated, and I'm an activist, a black activist. I believe in uplifting black people, and I work in every neighborhood, every community to help every black person. The people the lost, the found, everybody. If you're black, I'm trying to help you.
All right.
I'm following you right now, Donovan.
All right, and I'm Courtney. You can follow me on Instagram at _dirtyred_225. I write books. My first 2 books, Infidelity 2. My newest book, The Warmest Winter. Go check that out. All 3 are available on Amazon, and I'm working on my 4th book now.
Congratulations on that. Very proud
Courtney,
to have a black writer.
Thank you.
Seriously.
Thank you.
So Courtney, is it an issue when people call you Dirty Red by your Instagram name?
You say, do they?
Is it an issue for you? Like if I say, hey, Dirty Red?
No, it's not an issue at all.
Okay.
She a little too light to be dirty red. You know dirty red had that little. How we are. Yeah. You catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Biggz is a hit 225.
All right. Make sure you to find the Antidote, the Antidote Network. We got Brother Donovan on there. I ain't gonna plug my other, thing I be doing.
You can do what you do. You can do what you do. Do what you do. You can do what you do.
Out of respect for the nation.
I know my boy Joe got OnlyFans. But I respect my brother because my brother go through Ramadan with me every year for the last couple years. I much love, much respect. He opened his doors up to us for community events for black people, for the city of Baton Rouge, to unite the city of Baton Rouge. And I just want to thank you for every opportunity that you've given me, and you've been here with me through my whole transformation.
Right.
So I much love and much respect to that.
Man, well, I got much love for you as well, bro. We done been through a lot, seen a lot. So,
A lot.
I'm here for the ride, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. I mean, shit, the way you ended that, I'm going to just go ahead and end the show, man, and we out.
Yes, sir.